Hello, and thank you once again for tuning in to the 30-Day Mental Diet. I've been away for some time, and Pastor Jeffries have been doing an excellent job. I would like to first of all apologize if you hear any background noise. I have a lot of dogs in my yard. I'm now in the West Indies, and once in a while you might hear a dog barking in the background. Today's lesson is day number 16. Make your affairs prosper. And the subheading says that you live in the midst of abundance. And as usual, let us read the introduction to this lesson, and let us dissect what is being said here in today's lesson on the 30-Day Mental Diet. Why should you be prosperous? Fundamentally, life is never stingy, never lacking. There is a superabundance of all that is. Nature is prolific in every respect. One look about you and you can see this for yourself. Have you reason to suppose that life abundance stops where you begin? It's quite ironic. It's saying here that nature is very prolific and nature is abundant. I was walking 2 days ago, and I was coming down the road outside here, and the mangoes are in season, and the trees are blossoming. And I looked upon a tree, and I was counting the amount of mangoes on this tree. And I was saying to myself, can any one family eat all these mangoes? It seemed like there were hundreds of mangoes on this one tree. And that's just one tree. And everyone along this road has at least one mango tree in their yard, and other trees also. But I was just looking at how abundant nature provides for us from one tree. And that one tree, the fruit from that one tree is enough to feed more than a family. And that's how God provides for every one of us, and we have to constantly remind ourselves, like the subheading says, that we live in the midst of abundance. Let's go down. What does prosperity mean? It would seem reasonable to assume that prosperity means more than the bare necessities for existence. This would apply to your own life, to your business endeavors, to every good undertaking. Life is productive and creative and should continue to be so in your experience in whatever respect you desire. You should have whatever is necessary to provide a joyous and happy life. But this means that those good things you desire to come to you must in no way deprive another of what may belong to him. Out of the limitless productivity of the universe, enough can be provided for the prosperity of all without limiting or depriving another. Now, a lot to say, a lot to regurgitate in that one paragraph. But one of the things, the last statement in that paragraph is when I really, how can I say, understood what was being said there. The word competition came out of my mind. I got rid of the word competition. Too many times in life is a zero-sum game where if I win, another person loses. If that person wins, then I lose. And this is how we play the game of life on earth. When it says here, specifically, that out of the limitless, remember that the universe is unlimited, it is infinite. Out of the limitless productivity of the universe, enough can be provided for everyone without depriving another. Think about that. When you are ever thinking that there's not enough, or somebody may say to you, sometimes governments say, there's not enough to go around. There's always enough because the universe is abundant. What is limited is man's thinking. And when we put limits on our thinking, we put limits to the productivity that we can receive from the universe. Let's go to the next paragraph. How does prosperity start? The one type of thinking that needs to be avoided is that prosperity is just around the corner, that it will come tomorrow or the next day. If this kind of thinking is maintained, you'll soon discover that the prosperity you desire is a future thing and will always remain so as long as you consider it. Very, very true statement. And I want you to consider that statement very well. Now, prosperity is around the corner. I'm waiting for my ship to come in. We had spoken before, and I remind you that when we were talking about lack and decreeing lack into our life, we must always remember that the prosperity we want it right now, because God lives in the right now. God is the great I am. He lives in the present. He does not live in the past or the future. It is right now. So whenever we are decreeing a thing, and if you listen and you read very well the diets, a lot of the statements are I am statements. They're not future statements. They're not past statements. They are I am statements. They are statements that are affirming what we desire in the present. Prosperity cannot be around the corner. Prosperity is now. So you should always say to yourself, I am prosperous. Not I'm going to be prosperous. I desire to be prosperous. I wish to be prosperous. No, I am prosperous. And what we want is the prosperity in this realm right now, in this present moment. And as we maintain that pattern of thinking, I am in the present moment, the things that we used to decree in the future will come to the present moment now. But once we understand this, we will always put everything that we want in the I am sentence instead of I want or I desire in a future tense. Okay, let's move on. First steps. The obvious conclusion is that you have to start to create a frame of mind, a process of thinking that embodies prosperity at your present state of affairs. Very, very true. And that's just exactly what we're talking about. We have to embody that state of mind of prosperity now. And remember, we had spoken before about the process of thinking. When we're thinking, first thought is mental. Our thinking has to be in the present moment. We cannot visualize things in the future. When we're visualizing things and when we're speaking things into existence, we got to visualize it like we have it right now, so that when our eyes are closed and we're feeling it. Let's say we feel that we're out skiing with the family. We should get cold right away because we're feeling right now where we are. If you feel that you're out on a ship, on a cruise, you should feel the wind in your face, in your visualization, and bring that manifestation that you're looking for, that vision that you're looking for, from the future tense into the present tense. Okay, same paragraph, first steps. This is not a process of blinding yourself to present circumstances or situation, but a down-to-earth practical application of cause and effect. Down-to-earth practical application of cause and effects. First cause is mental. First cause starts right here in our thinking process. There is nothing that can be created in the physical realm. It has to first come from the mental realm, from the thinking. So as long as we're doing that correctly, we are following the laws of nature and the laws of God. So why are we not every single day creating in our mind the mental pictures of the things that we desire? Because if we really desire a thing, the first thing we should be doing every single day is holding that vision in our mind of what we want. And if we have trouble, like I said, holding a vision, get a vision board. Put nice pictures up. Maybe build a vision board on your computer put yourself on a nice island or on a cruise or wherever you want, in a nice house, in a nice car. See yourself in that to help you visualize that thing. And even more, write it down in an I am statement. I am cruising around the world and seeing many different cultures. I am in a new house with a wraparound porch with a wonderful garden in the back. I am on a mountain skiing and the cold air is blowing in my face. Whatever it is your I am statement is that you want. I am feeling strong and healthy. And maybe you have a little infirmity in your body, but because you affirm this thing constantly in the present moment, what happens now, the universe must respond because you have done the first cause. The first cause is thinking, and the effect must follow. Let's go to the next paragraph. Prosperity, more than a state of mind. We're in the middle of that paragraph. There is no limit to the creative action of life, but there rests in your thought the ability to determine how it will be creative for you. Such a true statement. What do you want life to create for you? We know that God is infinite and life is infinite, and there's an infinite amount of choices that you can make. We started in this chapter saying that you live in the midst of abundance. Choose the abundance of good. Many people are they're choosing an abundance of negative things, an abundance of worry, an abundance of sickness and of weakness and of poverty. No, choose the abundance of love, prosperity, health, happiness. Choose that as your abundance every day. You have a choice. God is not going to make the choice for us. That choice starts with you and your thinking. Let's go to the next paragraph. Redirect your thinking. For the most part, the attainment of prosperity rests upon your ability to stop deploring what little you have, thinking only about the voids in your experience. Think, believe, and act as though you have them right now. Be thankful for whatever good you already possess, knowing that it is to it added whatever manner of prosperity is needed for more worthwhile living once you redirect your thinking in this manner and keep it clear. So I kind of fumbled through that, but I'm going to go back over it again. Sometimes we're looking at maybe our bank account. Sometimes we're looking at our paycheck and you say, it's so small. You know, in the Gospels, there was a little boy that had a basket, his lunch, with some loaves and some fishes. And people looked at it, and the disciples looked at it, and Christ said, give me that basket. And he said, and the disciples said, this little bit cannot feed this multitude. What the problem was that they did not have the vision. And they turned up their nose in scorn at the little that was there. And we do that from time to time. We may look at the car that we're driving, or maybe we don't even have. Maybe we're on the bus. And we curse that situation. And we look at it scornfully at that situation. Instead of, while we're in that situation, redirect our thinking and see ourselves with a new car, with the car that we dreamed of, with the car that we wrote down in our goals and our vision board. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you didn't write down a goal for a new car, you can't get it. If you didn't visualize yourself in a new car, you can't get it. Because first cause is mental. So if you didn't even take the time to visualize and to see yourself with those things, how can you have it? You must first possess it in your mind and hold it. And it says here, think, believe, and act as though you have them right now. And then it said, while you're thinking, believing, and acting, be thankful. Because once you can hold the vision, you know that that vision comes with it a seed. That vision is a seed that is going to germinate, and God is going to do the work to prosper you. Let's go on to the next paragraph. Accept prosperity. The acceptance of abundance starts with the building up in your mind of a conviction that God does not favor others and ignore you. There is some truth in the saying that God helps those who help themselves. To what extent have you been helping yourself to or depriving yourself of the abundance of the universe? So that's very, very true. The scriptures even say that God causes the rain to fall on the just and on the unjust. So how are you helping yourself? Are you writing your goals down? Are you visualizing your goal? Or are you neglecting to do those things? See, this is what it is. We are the ones that's going to make the changes. God is going to do the work, but the first cause is mental. We have to first accept in our heart and our mind that we live in abundance. We're going to accept the abundance, and we're going to do what we have to do, what the natural law says, which is visualize, decree, write down the goal, and watch God work. Watch God work. And that's what we're asking you to do here in the 30-day mental diet. Turn off all media, focus your mind on yourself. Right now, there's so much negative news out there. Take your pick. Take your pick. But if you turn those things off and come in your own little cocoon and say, out of all the negative things that's being projected out there in the world, I only accept good for myself. And that's how you either help or hinder yourself, by accepting or not accepting the abundance in the universe. Let's go on down the last paragraph. New experiences. You can firmly and consistently maintain in your pattern of thinking that the abundance you desire, the prosperity you wish to enjoy, is yours now. This constant belief, coupled with emotions and actions that reflect it, is a causative factor that will not and cannot be denied by God's creative action as law. Wow. We summarize the whole chapter on abundance right there. Right there, a constant belief coupled with your emotions. These actions, God cannot deny. You think about this. There was, we were talking about just a while ago that God not being partial to anyone when it comes down to his law. And I mentioned that God causes the rain to fall on the just and on the unjust. Think about this. There is a parable that I believe it was Jesus said this parable, and the parable is about an unrighteous judge. And I love this parable. And basically the parable said there was an old widow, and she was poor. And she would go every day to the gate to the judge and cry out to the judge to avenge her of her adversary. And the judge did not want to be bothered with her case. And the woman comes and she's, Your Honor, I have this problem with this person. You need to avenge me. You need to make wrong. I want justice. No justice, no peace. And as the judge sat there and this woman came, he thought to himself to just dismiss the case. But he realizes, he says, you know what? I better avenge this woman and hear her case. Because if I don't do this, she's going to come here every single day and wear me out. He knew that. And Christ said, listen to what the unjust judge said. And it's important because he said it was an unjust judge. And the creator of the universe, the infinite creator, is a just God, judge. Wouldn't he do much more for you and give you what your hearts desire? If you hold the pattern in your thinking, hold the pattern in your emotion of the things you desire, you decree and speak the things that you want daily. And even though adverse conditions may arise, you speak the opposite and speak life and speak the things that you would like to see in your life. Visualize the things that you would like to see in your life, contrary to what is in the present. The law must create for you what you visualize, because first cause is mental, and God cannot violate his own laws. Okay, let's go down. I'm looking at mental stimulus and I'm looking at science. If spirit is limitless creative power, it can provide an inexhaustible reservoir of health and strength from which man can draw freely at his will. That's Edmund Sinnott. And from religions, it says, what things soever ye desire when ye pray, believe that ye have received them, and ye shall have them. Let us come together and let us read the diet together. There is no limit to the abundance, the prolific creativity that resides in the universe. I know that I am part of and not separate from the infinite intelligence in which all things reside and have their being. In this knowledge and conviction, I know that God's creative action continues to manifest itself through the patterns of thinking that I maintain. There is no limit to God, and whatever may appear as a need in my experience is abundantly filled, as I know and believe that it is filled. Whatever good I undertake, whatever beneficial goals I desire to accomplish, whatever I feel is necessary for a fuller, richer enjoyment of living, is successfully fulfilled. All that I wish to do and accomplish that is consistent with good and neither deprive nor harms anyone, is mine to attain, as I now believe that it is mine. The more prosperous I am, the more enjoyment I get out of living. The more I am able to help others, the more I am expressing the God life that flows through me. I let go of all ideas of limitations and accept the abundance and prosperity that is the very nature of God's being and creation. In everything I do, I am prosperous. I am immersed in an abundance of all good things. A new doorway now opens for me, and I enjoy a richer experience of living. Wonderful diet. Wonderful diet. And one of the things I want you to focus in on is the amount of time that these decrees in this diet is said in the present tense, in the I am tense. You know, not in the future, but right now. We're decreeing that thing right now. Let's look at the capsule supplement. The universe is a limitless, abundant, prosperous creation, an activity of God. I now accept this life as my life, and all that He possesses now becomes available to me to have and experience. I let loose of limitation and accept prosperity in all things. Wonderful diet today. Wonderful lesson, day 16. And I just want to remind you that if you like these lessons, and if you find something beneficial, please give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Your questions or comments, leave it right below. And all the information about our services and all that we do here is also listed below. And I want to thank you because you are just halfway through. We're at day 16. So we went over the hump. We're at day 16. We're halfway through in the 30-day mental diet. And once again, I'd like to apologize for all the background noise, but I am away from home and away from my quiet office. But we'll see you again tomorrow on the 30-day mental diet. Thank you.